So yes, investors are catching on, houses over condos. But within the realm of freehold homes in Toronto, there's still a lot to unpack. From detached houses to semis to townhouses, which one is the best investment? Well, let's break it all down in this video. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tips on real estate investing in Toronto. When it comes to capital requirements, townhouses usually sit on less land and share walls with two homes, making them typically the most affordable option. Next up are semis, followed by detached homes. Now, here's the deal. Tenants often aren't as picky about whether it's a semi or a townhome or a detached home that they're living in. And what this means is that you can fetch similar rents for the same size unit with an attached neighbor, but you end up buying with a cheaper price. And that's why semis can yield better returns compared to a detached home with a similar layout. Notice I didn't say towns, and this is because of one big reason: entrances. Now, in a nutshell, it is trickier to create separate entrances for townhomes compared to semis or detached homes because you just can't get access to the side or back as easily. So what happens is that this can limit the ability to split a house into more units, and that ends up limiting the rental income. And this is why we typically prefer semis over towns. Now, when it comes to semis versus detached homes, semis typically have more competition in any type of market because other investors see what we see in terms of cheaper price and better rent yields too. So you can see this in increased competition, in a higher sales to new listings ratio in any given time, and a higher ratio here means a hotter market. And what this does in a heated market is it would mean a lot more competition that can drive up the price of semis more significantly compared to detached homes in terms of percentage gains. So from a turnkey investment standpoint, semis do come out ahead of detached homes simply because of better rent yields and better appreciation potential. Now let's dive into value add opportunities a bit more because many investors are drawn to diverse income streams and the potential to increase property value through renovations, and this is always a hot topic with our clients. If you're looking at cosmetic upgrades or simply rearranging the interior layout of a home, whether it's a semi or a detached home, it really doesn't make much of a difference. But when you venture into more significant renovations like underpinning, topping up a house, detached homes end up getting the upper hand. You will need approvals from your attached semi-neighbor for any work on a shared party wall with semis, which ends up adding to the uncertainty and risk of a project. Now, speaking of shared party walls, there are more drawbacks with semis here too. You might encounter more noise from your attached neighbor, more pest issues, and a higher risk of fire spreading from an attached neighbor. Now, taking renovations one step further, there is a growing discussion around rebuilding a house under Toronto's more lenient housing policies. As of last year in 2023, each lot in Toronto now allows up to a fourplex in the main house, and then you can also add a laneway suite or a garden suite in the backyard, all as of right. So if you're set on building a purpose-built fourplex now or even in the future, choosing a detached lot is probably the most straightforward choice. But if you're not planning on building, but solely buying detached lots to bet on higher demand for build potential for others, it might not pan out as you expect. The reality is there aren't as many builders focused on these projects, and they're typically looking for opportunities that offer significant upside because they're doing most of the work themselves. So in terms of you trying to sell the lot for a premium to developers, this is actually not that likely. So as you weigh the options for investment properties in Toronto, it is clear that each type does come with its own mix of pros and cons. Now, your decision should really hinge on what aligns best with your investment strategy. And if you're grappling which route to take, our Toronto real estate brokerage is here to lend you a hand. We specialize in buying and selling investment properties across the city, particularly houses and multiplexes. Whether you're interested in turnkey multiplexes or considering converting a single-family home into a multiplex, count on us to guide you towards smarter real estate investment decisions. Here's how it's like to work with us. We'll chat with you to understand your situation, teach you how to tell a good investment from a bad one, find you the perfect opportunity that suits your goals. And if you need renovations, no worries. We've got reliable contractors to connect you to and coach you as you manage your project as well. And if you need it, our team can also handle renting out and managing your property too. So if you are ready to dive in, just head over to this link here and let's get started together.